Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back with another movie react today. Another round of X-Men, The Rise of Mutants. I love X-Men, bro. I think X-Men was a big staple in my childhood, so that's real. I got high respect for them, though. Hey, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you know what it is. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
knocking it with a thumbs up.
Don't mind me, y'all. You already know. For those who know. All right, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
So the movie opens in Poland 1944. Young Eric gets separated from his parents at the Nazi concentration camp. They close the gate on him and take them away, and when he tries forcing it back, the officers weren't letting him. They were like, bring your little ugly ass here. So he gets very emotional and starts reaching for the gate, and that's when it happens. The metal starts bending and he unknowingly starts activating his powers. Then he gets put to sleep. They did his ass like how Joshua did Jake Paul. But here's the thing, Sebastian Shaw was watching it all from the window. The next day he brings Eric into his office and tells him to move a coin with his powers, and my boy was out here struggling. He couldn't do it. Then Shaw brings in Eric's mom and goes, listen, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. I'm gonna count to 3, and if you can't move this coin, I'm gonna put a bullet in your mouth.
I start moving everything.
Sean starts counting and Eric tries to lock in, but he still can't move it. Tries, bang! And just like that, he kills his mama. And that's all it takes. Eric snaps and goes full rage.
Why you scream so loud? Cause you scream.
Don't tell me how loud to scream.
No, I said I'm not telling you how loud to scream. I'm saying why did you scream so loud?
Because I had a real reaction. I wish somebody would.
And just like that, he kills his mama. And that's all it takes. Eric snaps and goes full rage mode, bending all the metal in the room, even squashing these 2 guards' helmets,
what you said?
and catching his first 2 bodies. Sebastian was so excited to see him use his powers, acting like they were about to be best friends.
You know what I would have did with Sebastian?
Man.
Because I know you got a metal pen. Motherfucker would have run right through that. And then I would have put that gun. Nah, that would have been too easy.
That would have been too easy.
Too easy. I would have sent another
one
this
bit.
and another one right here and said, bitch. And then just have them spin around.
How you doing it?
Bitch. And have them spin around, you know what I'm saying? And have, yeah, you see me? This the last face you're going to see. I swear, because you ain't finna kill my mom. Matter of fact, I would have removed the bullet out of her. And right into you.
Me and you are going to take over the world.
This nigga is crazy.
He just hands him the coin and then he dips. Cut over, we see Charles living the dream in this big ass house, or should I say castle. He had that Bruce Wayne type of money. Anyways, Charles walks into his kitchen and finds Raven stealing food. She's dead broke and she can't eat. Not realizing he can read minds, she finally switches back to her natural blue form. Instead of freaking out, Charles was fascinated. I mean, he was alone, and just like that, 2 of them become besties. Fast forward 16 years later and Eric still got that coin in his hand, still trying to get his GBG. Like, look at how many people he got on his list. He out here moving like Brian Mills. I will find you, and I will kill you. Eric rolls up to the Swiss banker, trying to sell some illegal gold. But nah, that's just a cover. He's really hunting Klaus Schmidt, aka Sebastian Shaw. The banker quickly realizes this and tries to reach for the alarm, but my boy had metal on his wrist, so that shit wasn't gonna work, stupid. Eric asks where Sean is hiding, but the banker is playing dumb. Then Eric notices a metal tooth in his mouth and slowly starts pulling it out. Then he finally squeals. He's in Argentina. Nah, this right here gotta be the worst pain. Shit, I still remember the pain of my braces getting tightened. Like, it's no joke, any type of drill in your mouth hurts. Hey, yo! Thank you for your cooperation. By the way, if you let anyone know that I'm coming, I'll kill your ass. So while Eric is on a manhunt moving like Vaughn, Charles is out here spitting game on the hoes. Yeah, this was 2 different lifestyles. Eric makes it to Argentina and pulls up at this bar, acting like he's just there for a drink. See these 2 men at the back here having a drink? Yeah, there were officers at the concentration camp that killed his parents. So he walks over calm and starts small talk. You know, the usual, a few laughs and giggles. They say they're from Dusseldorf, and then Eric's like, no way, my parents are from Dusseldorf. What were their names? They didn't have names. Eric flips his arm over, they see the numbers tattooed on him, and just like that, they know. He was here to get it back in blood.
Okay.
He tried shanking him, but nah, that don't work. Sorry, we were following orders. Well, follow this, nigga.
The way.
Having your whole time sticking out is crazy. Then the bartender comes and tries to shoot Eric, only
you
for
gonna do
Eric
with
to
that little
turn that
pew-pew?
gun around and make him shoot his homie. Boom! Straight
Ooh.
friendly fire. And you can hold this.
Ooh.
Now give me that shit back.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh.
You guys cannot tell me
that's
Magneto
cold.
ain't one of the coldest mutants.
That's
Like, look
cold.
at him. He just finishes his beer, gets back up, then he's like, oh yeah, I gotta kill this dude. And then booms it. So after Sebastian and Emma Frost convinced Colonel Hendry to put Jupiter missiles in Turkey, they link back up in Miami. But here's the thing, they don't need him anymore. But Hendry never trusted them either. So he pulls out a grenade and Shaw just looks at him and says, go ahead, pull it, blow us all up. Hendry couldn't do it, they caught his bluff. So Sean just grabs the grenade himself and lets it explode in his hand. And casually just absorbs the entire blast. No damage, no scratches, nothing. And that's when the Colonel realizes, yeah, he messed up. Nigga just walks up to him, touches him on the shoulder and completely deletes him off the server.
No, he did.
Moira tracks down Charles Xavier right after he graduates and officially becomes a professor. She brings up his thesis on genetic mutation. This isn't small talk. She's been tracking down Sebastian Shaw through the CIA for a while now. She already knows he's been pulling strings behind the scenes, manipulating both the US and the Soviets, carefully nudging them closer and closer to nuclear war. And she knows something else. Shaw isn't normal, but before she can lay it all out, Charles just reads her mind and instantly everything clicks. He sees what she knows about Shaw, the missiles, about mutants, and in this time period, the world doesn't even know about mutants. So the next day, Charles and Moira head to the CIA and Charles gave a full presentation about human genetic mutation. As expected, they don't believe a word of it. So Charles has to read Brody's mind for them to tap in. I didn't really expect you to believe me since you've been thinking about big booty Latinas the entire presentation.
He's a goddamn spy. You brought a goddamn spy into this facility.
Damn, why is Charles exposing Brody like that? Anyways, Raven gets up and transforms into one of the CIA agents. And yeah, just like that, they finally believe them. So that night they pull up on Sebastian Shaw's yacht in Miami. But here's the thing, Eric pulls up too. But his ass was not there to talk, he was trying to catch a body. Before he can make a move though, Emma Frost steps in and gets into his head. Nigga, you really thought she was about to be that sweet? Nah, she was really out here making Eric relive his past trauma. Damn. Eric tries to yank a knife only for Emma to catch it. Then she's like, you know what? Go for a swim, and throws his ass off the boat. And that's when the US Coast Guard pulls up with Charles and Moira on board. Charles tries using his telepathy, but Emma was blocking it with hers. His mind really said,
So we don't have the capacity.
so he couldn't do shit. The Coast Guard still try to come in hot, but Riptide creates two cheeky tornado and flips all the speedbirds back like, fuck you think this was? Eric grabs a metal anchor and rips straight through the ship, still locked in on shore, but Shaw, Riptide, Emma Frost move fast. They rush below deck, slip into a submarine and take off, but Eric was not letting him escape. He's been chasing this nigga for years. He reaches out and starts dragging the submarine back, but he's not strong enough. That submarine just kept going. That shit just kept going forward and Eric gets pulled into the water, damn near drowning, still refusing to let go, and that's when Charles jumps in and saves him. This guy Eric is way too hard-headed. But anyways, just like that, Charles Xavier and Eric Linsher finally meet. Anyways, the man in the black suit brings them all to a secret CIA research base, and when they arrive, Hank McCoy is already there. Yeah, the CIA had no idea he was a mutant.
What the fuck?
Hank builds Cerebro for Charles, a machine that amplifies his power so he can locate other mutants all around the world. And just like that, Charles and Eric start tracking them down. Actually, first Eric tried to steal the information and leave, but Charles talked him out of it and told him it's not that bad to have friends and work in a team. They recruit Alex Summers, Angel, Darwin, and Banshee. I mean, they even try to recruit Wolverine, but he was just like,
Go fuck yourself.
and that was that. So yeah, squad assembled. Low-key the beginning of the X-Men. They end up getting intel that Shaw is meeting up with the Russian defense chief. Eric, Charles, and Moira head straight to Russia. When they arrive, it's only Emma Frost, and Sebastian wasn't there. Moira and the CIA think they should abort the mission, but Eric is like, nah, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something. Eric starts taking out all the guards one by one. He did not hold back. He even put this one to sleep with a knee to the dome. He makes it inside and these guys try to stop him, only to get their guns dismantled and then mink, mink, straight to bed. Meanwhile, Emma's got the poor general convinced he's in bed with her. Whole time she's just chilling on the couch. OG really thought he was about to go scuba diving, but that was not the case. Eric and Charles finally walk in, but Emma quickly switches to a diamond form so Charles can't read her mind. Here's the problem. Eric is in the room and he ain't too friendly. He straps her ass down and starts choking her out, almost snapping her neck. But just like that, she taps out and switches back to normal. And the second she does, Charles finally gets inside her head, and that's when he sees it. Sean's real plan, to start a nuclear war, let all the humans wipe themselves out. Mutants survive, Sean gains power from the chaos and positions himself as a ruler of whatever is left. Charles is completely disgusted because at this point it's clear Sebastian Shaw isn't just some villain chasing power. He's pushing a full-on mutant supremacy ideology, same extremist mindset, different target. Instead of racial purity, it's genetic superiority. If you're not a mutant, die! And that's the moment Charles realizes this isn't just about stopping a war, it's about stopping the rise of the Dark Lord. So while they're all in Russia, Shaw is in the US. He pulls up to the CIA base and everyone starts hearing banging sounds, so they hop outside and Azazel is just dropping all the guards one by one. Like imagine you're just in the room and then bang, you're like 10,000 feet in the sky. It was dead ass raining CIA agents. He then drops back down and starts laying them all out. None of the guards were safe, but what pissed me off was these mutants were hiding in the room and letting humans, regular humans, protect them.
This nigga is trash.
Sebastian pulls up with his new helmet that the Russians made him. He had to make sure that Charles wouldn't be a threat. Where are the mutants? Where do I find the more evolved people? Send back up now! This guy tries emptying the clip, but Shaw just grabs him by the throat and tosses him straight up. And getting thrown up like that as a grown man is just disrespectful, with or without superpowers. The rest of the agents surround him and start lighting him up, but Sebastian just eats every single bullet and even a whole RPG. And you could see it in their faces. They knew they were cooked. Shaw just stomps the ground and releases all that stored energy burning through everyone. Like look at this guy just standing there aura farming. You're not that guy, pal, trust me, you're not that guy. So all three of them walk into the room and hey. Like what is he trying to do, box? Anyway, Shaw just tells them about the revolution that's about to happen. After humans find out about mutants, it's over. You can join me and live like kings, or
The enslaved.
Now, why did the camera look at him? Who wrote this? Who's the director, bro?
Right.
I swear that was the shortest convincing ever. Shaw spoke for like 2 seconds and Angel was like, I'm in. But right before they leave, Darwin acts like he wants to join as well. He walks towards them, then grabs Angel, and then Alex fires off a plasma beam, only for Shaw just to absorb it like nothing. Darwin tries sneaking in, but Shaw blocks it, grabs him by the face and forces all that absorbed energy right back in his mouth. Pause. And yeah, the guy is meant to adapt to anything, doesn't. Try. So while Sebastian Shaw is manipulating the Soviet Union into placing missiles in Cuba and basically starting World War II, Charles takes the remaining mutants back to his mansion and they start training because let's be real, they were sorry as hell. They had powers but didn't know how to use them. This was actually Eric's idea to get them back in shape and spin back because Charles didn't want them involved, saying they were too young. So training begins. Charles helps them tap deeper into their abilities. All different styles, same goal. You can see them all leveling up. Meanwhile, President John F. Kennedy goes on TV and announces that if the Soviet Union crossed the line, it's a full-on war. And just like that, Shaw's plan was falling perfectly into place. The night before everything goes down, Hank finishes his DNA serum. The goal, to make him and Raven look normal. But Eric's been telling Raven the whole time to embrace who she is, stay blue and be proud of it. But Hank on the other side, yeah, he did not like his feet. I don't blame him. So he takes the serum and it works for like 5 seconds. Then his body starts mutating, bigger, stronger, and more furry. And just like that, the serum turns him into beast. Man, really shouldn't have been playing with his DNA. But anyways, he becomes stronger, so that's a win in my books. That night, Eric tells Raven to stay into her natural form, and you can see it. She starts leaning more towards his mindset. The next morning, they head straight into the lab and grab their new suits and suit up. They head to the jet, then Hank pulls up, and I can't lie, he kinda look crazy. You gonna pull all the holes. Anyways, they fly over to Cuba 3 minutes before Russia crosses the embargo line. Cause once they cross it, it's war. The crew pulls up and Charles taps into one of the Russian soldiers' minds and activates a missile, making them blow up their own ship. Yeah, he really nearly caught Azazel lacking. That telepath is powerful. Shaw heads to the bottom of the ship and cranks the nuclear reactor up to 100%. Then he just starts absorbing all that energy, just greedy. He was really trying to turn himself into Fat Man. Charles couldn't get a location on them, so that meant they were deep underwater. So Banshee dives in, finds the sub and signals the location, and just like that, Eric locks in. He reaches down and starts pulling the entire submarine up from under the water. The soldiers watching are just in disbelief, like ain't no way, but shit wasn't about to be that easy. Riptide spins a massive tornado and throws everything off balance. Hank completely loses control of the ship, and Eric couldn't hold on, so they all crash land onto shore. They really had that X-Jet completely cut in half, and that was their first time ever using it. That's tough. They all survive, nobody seriously injured, and Charles tells Eric to go inside the submarine and destroy whatever's blocking him from reaching shore. As soon as they step out, Havoc beams right at Riptide and knocks him out cold. Azazel tries to sneak Beast, but he blocks it, weaves under, and then he tries teleporting them into the air, so Beast locks his claws right into him and says, wherever you go, we go. They all come crashing straight down onto the US ship, and now it's chaos because the humans can't tell who the mutants are fighting for. As far as we know, they're scared of all of them. Out there looking scared like,
Who are these niggas?
Banshee flies in and grabs Alex, but Angel pulls up and spits acid right at his glider. And honestly, he shouldn't need that thing to fly anyways. Alex hits her with a plasma beam and burns her wings off, so she comes crashing down as well. They really said, fuck it, no one's flying today. While Hank was getting belted by Azazel, Raven switches to Sean and saves his ass. Then Hank knocks Brody out mid-teleport. Sit your ass down. Eric finally makes it inside the submarine. He shuts off the reactor, then Sean steps out, and now he's way more powerful than ever. He's been in the back absorbing nuclear energy the entire time. He casually just taps Eric in the forehead and sends his ass flying across the room. Bang! I don't know who hyped this nigga up thinking he was on my level. Hold up, let me help you up real quick. Sebastian was really out there cooking this dude. But here's the thing, every time Shaw was smashing the glass in the reactor room, it was weakening the barrier, giving Charles a clear path into his mind. Well, into the room. He still had that helmet on. He then starts launching metal poles at Shaw, trying to end him right there, but Shaw just absorbed every single one and just kept moving forward like he's the one with the magnetic powers. I'm not trying to hurt you, little nigga. We're meant to be allies. So while Shaw was right in his face with his stank breath, like them school teachers trying to help you in class, Eric snatches the helmet off his head, and just like that, checkmate. Charles freezes Shaw, and Eric was like, ooh, you know how long I've been waiting for this. Eric grabs the helmet off Shaw, blocking Charles out. Then he reaches in his pocket and pulls out that coin. Yeah, that same coin Shaw gave him as a kid, right after sending his mom to the Shadow Realm. He floats the coin up and dives it right through Shaw's forehead. Had that shit slowly coming out. And just like that, target eliminated. He floats out the sub holding Shaw's body like he's been crucified and just drops him. But it wasn't over. Eric looks around and tells everyone the humans are aiming their missiles right at them. And yeah, he wasn't lying. Charles taps into the soldiers' minds, and for the first time, the US and the Soviets are completely united. And now, the only threat is mutants. Moira tries calling off the attack, but it's too late. They've made up their minds.
Fire. I'm going.
Every ship launches missiles at the beach, trying to wipe the mutants out like the asteroids did the dinosaurs. But Eric steps up. They must have forgot who he was. He stops every single missile mid-air. For a second, Charles actually smiles. Then Eric turns them around and sends them right back at the fleet. And I don't know why Charles was so mad, because they literally just try to kill y'all. He tackles Eric to the ground, trying to rip the helmet off, but Charles is too lightweight. He eats an elbow to the mouth. Then the others try to jump in, and Eric just yanks them all back like, get out of here. The soldiers out in the ship saw the missiles coming back, and they didn't even fight it. They accepted fate.
Gentlemen, it's been an honor serving you.
Just as the missiles are about to hit the fleet, Moira starts shooting at Eric, and he deflects one of the bullets, but it ricochets and hits Charles right in the spine. Just like that, he becomes paralyzed. The missiles explode safely in the air, and Eric doesn't hold back. He looks at Moira and immediately blames her and starts choking her out. She didn't do this, Eric. You did. And that's the moment it fully breaks. They realize they don't want the same future. Eric believes in mutant dominance, no more hiding, no more fear, and Charles believes in coexistence. Eric calls for the mutants who agree with him to come by his side. Some move over and some stay with Charles. Raven ends up going with Eric because he accepted her how she was, and Charles wanted her to blend in, so he told her to leave with him. They all split. Xavier goes and opens his school for the mutants. He completely wipes Moira's memory to protect them all, and that's the birth of the X-Men. And Eric, he breaks Emma Frost out, forms his new squad, and becomes
Magneto.
Yeah, good movie, bro.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Good.
X-Men, bro. I love X-Men.
You know something? I don't think I like. I watched, but I don't be remembering stuff.
You never do.
Yeah, but when I like get like the little recap, that's good.
That's good. I'm gonna have to go back and
I'm about to go watch
this.
it. Yeah.
Oh man, y'all spell what's up in the comments.
Please
Let
do.
us know y'all thoughts down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar.